Shishri Guranga Vindari Hari Radha Vinod Bihari Radha Govinda Ki Jai Dali Vishnu Vishnupad Paramahansa Varajataya Astadara Satashi Srimad Charanaravinda Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Dali Vishnu Vishnupad Paramahansa Varajataya Astadara Satashi Srimad Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Gurudev Ki Shri Gauriya Guru Varga Ki Shri Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Das Raghunath Shyama Goswami Prabhu Ki Prince God Sri Krishna Chaitanya Nityananda Shri Advaita Gurudaya Shri Vasudeva Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ananda Guru Vaishnavina Ki Jai Samat Bhakti Vrinda Ki Jai Shinitai Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol. Gurave Gauda Chandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tad Bhaktaya Namo Namaha Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakan Vitamscha Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Mukam Karoti Vachalam Pangum Langayate Girim Yat Kripa Tamaham Bande Shri Gurun Dinataranam Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahabhadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Tvishe Namaha Anarpita Charim Chirat Kurunaya Vatirna Kalau Samarpaitum Unatoj Valarasam Svabhakti Shriyam Hari Purata Sundara Dyuti Kadamba Sandipita Sada Hridaya Kandare Spuratu Va Sachinandanaha Ajanulambita Pujo Kanakavadato Samkirtanaika Pitaro Kamalaya Taksho Vishwambaro Dvijavaro Yuga Dharma Palo Bande Jagat Priyakaro Karunavataro Bande Shri Krishna Chaitanya Nityanando Sahodito Gaudo Daye Pushpavanto Chitro Shamdo Tamonudo Panchatattvaatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam
He Krishna, Karuna Sindho, Dina Bandho, Jagatpate, Gopesha, Gopika Kanta, Radha Kanta, Namostute. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi, Radhe Vrindavaneshwari, Vrishabhanu Sute Devi, Pranamami Hari Priye. Radhe Vrindavanadishe, Karunam Ritavahini, Kripaya Nijapadabja, Dasyam Mahyam Pradiyatam. Bhaktya Vihina Aparadha Lakshay, Kshiptascha Kamadi Taranga Madhye, Kripa Mai Tvam Sharanam Prapanna, Vrinde Namaste Charanar Vindam. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shivas Adi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. First of all, I'm offering my unlimited Dandavat Pranams and my Shraddha Pushpanjali at the lotus feet of my most worshipable beloved Gurudev, Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnu Pad Paramahansa Ashto Tarasata Sri Srila A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada. Then I'm offering my same unlimited Dandavat Pranams and my Shraddha Pushpanjali at the lotus feet of my most worshipable beloved Siksha Gurudevs, Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnu Pada Paramahansa Ashto Tarasata Sri Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, and Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnu Pad Paramahansa Ashto Tarasata Sri Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. I am offering my Dandavat Pranams to all of my Sri Sri Rupa Nuga Guru Varga, and especially to the eternal associate of Radha and Krishna, our Prayojan Tattva Acharya, Srila Raghunath Das Goswami Pad, the author of Sri Vilapa-kusumanjali. And I offer my Dandavat Pranams to all of the Vaishnavas and to all of the Vaishnavis. So tomorrow, Sakadashi, and we've all decided yesterday that we're going to chant the remaining verses of Vilapa-kusumanjali and some commentary, what we have time for.
At 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock till 1. But you were thinking 12 o'clock?
No, I just thought it was going to be a regular class, so yeah. I'll just alter my plans going into town tomorrow. So
I'm going into town at 8 in the morning so that I can make it back in time.
What did you say? You're going also?
At 8 o'clock in the morning, I have to pick up some medication.
Okay. And you were going to go?
Well, I was going to go all the way to Fresno, but I'll just put that off till Sunday.
Oh. Well, you're the astrologer, you know which days are good. Are you going abroad anywhere? No.
Actually,
Okay.
Yeah, that's what
What?
Do you want to research it first?
Well, no, I already thought that's why I was going tomorrow, because Sunday and Monday and Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yeah, what is it, 27th, 28th, 1st and 2nd. Okay. Let me adjust this.
So, tomorrow at 11?
Yeah. Now we're going to verse 44. And we finished the commentary for verse 43 yesterday. And at the end of that commentary, Gurudev is saying that Jiva Goswami has also written like this. He told of Swakiya Bhav for unqualified persons, but he's also written like this, meaning everything that we read yesterday, like Kavi Karnapur's verse and Prabodhananda Saraswati Pad and like that. So Jiva Goswami is also written like this. And Jayadev Goswami, right? And he told of Swakiya Bhav for unqualified persons. That's what he told for. He has not told all these things. And Kavi Karnapur, a very great person, has also told of them. They think that if we don't give all these things in a sutra, they means who? All the authors who have told these things. So they think that if we don't give all these things in a sutra, then everything will be spoiled. And unqualified persons will think that this is not good because they cannot understand. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has very openly talked about these things. So, I desire to be what? Remember what he said yesterday? Yes, he said, I desire to be the foot dust of Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And he certainly has and is and eternally will be. So now verse 44. Kalavati natam shayo prachurakama punjo jvalat. Kala nidhi muradvisha prakatarasa sambhavayo. Brahmad brahmarajankritayar madhura malli malam muda. Kada tavatayo samarpayati Devi dasi jana. O graceful artist, O Devi, when will this maidservant happily place a sweet jasmine garland filled with the humming of bees on your gracefully sloping shoulders, touched in the rasa dance by Muradvisha, who has become a moon shining with amorous passion. So here, Muradvisha means who? Enemy of the Mura demon. So you can repeat, Kalavati, Natam Shayo, Prachura Kama, Punjojvalat, Kala Nidhi, Muradvisha, Prakatarasa, Sambhavayo, Brahmad, Brahmara, Jankritayar, Madhura Malli, Malam, Muda, Kada, Tavatayo, Samarpayati, Devi Dasi, Janaha. O graceful artist, O Devi, when will this maidservant happily place a sweet jasmine garland filled with the humming of bees on your gracefully sloping shoulders, touched in the rasa dance by Muradvisha, who has become a moon shining with amorous passion. Srila Gurudev's commentary. The gopis taste Krishna Prem and Krishna tastes Radha Prem. This is the title of this section. The gopis taste Krishna Prem and Krishna tastes Radha Prem. Now, for a moment, Raghunath came into his external awareness, and he began bitterly weeping and rolling on the ground. What to do? Oh, I was seeing that I was putting alta on Radha's feet, so I bowed down to that alta. When will I have chance to decorate Srimati Radhika's lotus feet by this thing? At once, something came so brightly in his heart. Now he saw that at the time of Ras, Srimati is standing and Krishna, he is Kalanidhi. So he's seeing at the time of Ras that Srimati is standing and Krishna, he is Kalanidhi. He has put his left arm around the left shoulder of Srimati. That arm was Ajanu Lambita, very long. Oh no, Krishna. Is it still on? Okay. That arm was Ajanu Lambita, very long. And Sarpakriti. Sarpakriti means looking like a sarpa, like a serpent. And it was very cool, gentle, smooth, and fragrant. What's being described? The left arm of Krishna. That is around what? Srimati Radhika. The fragrance of Krishna's hand came. The fragrance of Krishna's hand came in the nose of Srimati Radhika. And what happened to her? She became like mad. That hand was on her left shoulder, from her right side, and it was coming down as if seeking something. Krishna was standing in a threefold bending form as Tribhanga Lalita. And he was leaning towards Srimati Radhika as if he wanted his whole body to embrace Srimati Radhika. So many things were coming in the mind of Krishna, and he became filled with ras, like a pot that is so completely filled with any ras that if it moves slightly, then some ras spills out. So Krishna is in such a mood. Because of Krishna's hands on her shoulder, there was some weight. Sri Krishna had his arm around Radhika's neck, so he had given his balance to her. Meaning what? Yes. Seeing this vision, Raghunath Das Goswami at once entered an inner mood. Remembering all these things, he became in the mood of a manjari. He was seeing all these things as if it is real, but it was a spurti. Srimati Radhika is leaning towards Krishna and Krishna towards Srimati Radhika. And seeing the hands of Krishna there, she, Rati Manjari, at once thought, if I had a garland made of malika flowers, I could put it on Srimati Radhika's shoulders. These shoulders are so fortunate that they have Krishna's hand upon them. And by keeping Krishna's hand there, Srimati Radhika is so cheerful. So I want to welcome these shoulders by doing archan of them with mallika flowers. How beautiful. This is some of the meaning. The word for word meaning is like this. Radhika is kalavati natam shayo. She is leaning against Krishna. Krishna has kept his hand around the neck of Srimati Radhika. Prachur means, we should know that word. Prachur. Prachur means? Yes. It means abundant. Karuna prachur. Was that Yayani lo prema dana? Karuna prachur. He is abundant with karuna. Right? So prachur means abundant. Kama punjojvalat. Here, Krishna has so much kam. Here, kam means abhilas, desire. What kind of desire? To play with Radhika in so many various ways, in gambling, in decorating, in many kinds of vilas. There are so many kinds of vilas. Krishna is Atmaram and, not Atmakam, Atmaram and Apta-kam. You know the meaning?
Without desire, Apta-kam?
No. Atmaram means what?
Self-satisfied.
Yes. Satisfied in the Atma. And Apta-kam means what? His own desires, he can fulfill himself. Apta-kam.
Self-sufficient.
Yeah. So his kam, apta, he himself can fulfill that. So Gurudev is pointing this out, that Krishna is Atmaram and Apta-kam. Here, Atmaram means self-satisfied. Nothing is needed for him. There are several Atmaramas. Shukdev Goswami, the four Kumaras, and so on. They are all Atmaram yogis. Right? Krishna is the root of all yogis, and self-satisfied Atmaram yogis, he is the root of them. He is the Atmaram of Atmaramas. Krishna is also Apta-kam, means all his desires have been fulfilled within himself. There are no desires which are yet to be fulfilled. Krishna is like this. But when he sees a premi bhakta, he becomes so hungry for praying. If he sees Yashoda, he is so hungry that he runs and jumps in her lap, and he takes her breast in his mouth. If he sees Nanda Baba, he goes to the lap of Nanda Baba. Nanda Baba kisses and puts his hands on the back of Krishna and gives him one laddu. So, Krishna is hungry for sneha, prem. Even if he is Atmaram or Apta-kam, yet when he sees that the cows are coming, that Baladev is coming, Sudam, Vasudev, Subal, Sridam, Lavanga, Stoka Krishna, Madhumangal, all are coming. When he sees them, he at once begins to taste Sakyaras. He cannot be with Yashoda in his home in Nanda Bhavan. He will at once jump out of his home and will play with them. And if he sees the gopis, and especially Radhika, what does he do then? He tries to satisfy them. He does what they desire. But yet, when he sees Radhika, he becomes bewildered. What to do? He forgets everything, and he begins to serve Srimati Radhika and to taste her prem. The gopis taste Krishna prem, but here Krishna tastes Radha prem. And to fulfill this idea, he came as Gauranga Mahaprabhu. So there is some difference, not difference, but some speciality in Radhika's prem. Raghunath Das Goswami is saying, Kama punjojvalat. Kama punjojvalat. Here, Kama means hidden desires. Kama means prem. And in prem, sneha, man, pranay, rag, anurag, bhav, and mahabhav. Krishna wants to taste mahabhav, and this taste can only be had by Radhika. Not any other gopi, not even Chandravali. So, Kama Punja, here Punja means a great amount, and Kam means to taste all the bhavs of Srimati Radhika. Ujvalat, Kama Punja Ujvalat. Ujvalat, Gurudev is going word by word. This Kam, Ujvalat, this Kam is not in a low stage. If one sets fire to anything, first comes smoke. Then, by and by, the smoke goes away, and there are only flames. And when it is in full progress, that is called projvalat, projvalat, or blazing, blazing, projvalat. So, Kam, that desire to taste Radhika's prem, Mahabhav, is like a fire. Krishna is burning in that fire. And while burning, he thinks, who will save me? Who will give water and extinguish that fire? He is looking here and there, and he sees that there is only one shelter, one ashray. Who's that? Srimati Radhika. So that desire, Krishna cannot control. Only Srimati Radhika can control it by giving the taste of Mahabhav to Krishna. So Krishna has that kind of calm in a very blazing condition, burning in his heart. What a description, huh, Gurudev? Now, the next section is titled Kalanidhi and Kalavati. Who's that? Kala, what? Kalanidhi and Kalavati. Kalanidhi and Kalavati. The treasure of the arts and the virtuoso. What's a virtuoso? Yeah, like a master of any musical instrument or arts or whatever, right? So he's saying Kalanidhi and Kalavati, the treasure of the arts and the virtuoso. We have described Krishna's calm. What kind of desire Krishna has, and in what stage? It is in the burning or the blazing stage. When did it take place? Prakata rasa sambhavayo. Prakata rasa sambhavayo. When Krishna was performing ras with the gopis. That's when it took place. Here, the adjective describing Srimati Radhika is Kalavati. And Krishna is Kalanidhi. The meaning of Kalanidhi is as follows. Nidhi means, what is Nidhi? We have that in a lot of different word, a lot of different verses and so forth. Rasa nidhi, ocean. Nidhi means ocean. Okay. So, the meaning of Kala Nidhi is as follows. Nidhi means ocean, and the other meaning is khajana, or treasure. So, Kala Nidhi can mean either ocean or also khajana, treasure. Both meanings are there. Here, it does not mean the ocean. It may be ocean also, but here it mainly refers to treasure. Krishna is a treasure trove of arts. Treasure trove of arts. What is he?
Treasure trove of arts.
What's a trove? We've heard that so much. A treasure trove. But we don't use the word trove in our spoken language. So there must be some old English. It must be like
accumulation.
Say some kind of big, huge pile of it. Treasure trove. So, Krishna is a treasure trove of what? Arts. Arts. What kind of arts? The art of Madhurya Rasa or Shringar Rasa. That art. In Ujjvala Nilamani, it has been described. There are the Dhira Lalita and all kinds of Nayakas. Krishna is Kalanidhi. He is himself the ocean of rasa. Srimati is Kalavati, which means an expert artist. I'm giving an example. In Bombay, there is a topmost shop for harmoniums. Bela, Esaraj, Sarangi, Tabla, Duggi, and all kinds of instruments in Bombay. The shopkeeper does not know how to play on all these things, but still there is an ocean of all the instruments. And Srimati Radhika is an artist. She can play on the veena so beautifully. She plays so well that Krishna becomes completely moved. She can sing in such a wonderful manner that when Krishna hears it, he becomes astonished. Especially when Srimati Radhika dances. Krishna becomes filled with so much karuna rasa. In this way, Srimati Radhika is Kalavati. She is expert at every art. It is so attractive when an artist sings, plays on the harmonium or on a bela, violin or other instrument with a very karuna rasa, with sound going up and down in a very melodious manner. We have so many violin concertos by our, what are they called? Classical music composers and artists. And the violin is like a crying instrument. It can be used in that way, right? Like a crying instrument. Do you know that they also make violins in the villages in Bangladesh? When I was in Bangladesh and got stuck there for 4 months in 1977, 1977, because we came for the festival with a 30-day landing pass. A lot of devotees did. But then you had to go out and get another tourist visa and come back in. So we went to Bangladesh. And there was like 4 or 5 brahmacharis there. And we got stuck there for like 2 to 4 months. We got stuck there. But we were preaching. That's when it really opened up. Jatila Maharaj came over. We had big programs at villages and everything. And how did I get on this topic? I forgot. It's about violin.
Because you said they manufacture them in the village.
Oh, yes. So the villages invited us to come and have program there. And they met us at the train station with a marching band at this village, Hindu village, amidst Muslim villages all around. And, you know, Bangladesh, there's hundreds of kirtan groups. They have melas and all of that. It's like, yeah, it's very profuse, you know. That's why Vyasaki went there, and he went all around and recorded. And the recording that he made of one of those village little orchestra, you know, they had violins and flutes and everything, which is so heart enchanting. And that was where I first heard, when I was in Dhaka, you know, waiting for my tourist visa. You know, this was actually 79. This took place. But that's where I heard Gurudev's, what he called the Australian tune. It was there. It actually came from Bangladesh. It was not, you know, made. But he called it the Australian tune because that lady, Krishna Premi, she sang it with a very karunya voice. Pathetic, Gurudev would use the word, you know. And Gurudev was very moved by that. Yeah, so that's why it started there and it went all over the world. But it's actually a Bangladeshi tune. Yeah, melody. So, yeah, what I was going to say is that it was very interesting to see. They actually would make their own violins in the villages. They look more or less like the Western violins. And when they played those violins along with flutes and harmonium and everything, it was like a little mini orchestra. And they had 3 young boys, probably around the age of 10 or 11, before their voice breaks. And they were singing in unison. They were dressed identically with their dhotis. And they were moving and dancing and singing. And we're sitting there they were serenading us, basically, while we're taking prasadam. Unforgettable. I mean, never had that experience before that. So, the arts. Yes. So, it is so attractive when an artist sings, plays on the harmonium, or a bale, a violin, or other instrument with a very karuna ras, with the sound going up and down in a very melodious manner, as if someone is crying. Even deer from the forest will come to hear because it is so attractive. We hear about that pastime when we go in Vrindavan on the Brajmandala Parikrama to the very famous place right near the Radharaman temple. You remember what place that is? No. Seva Kunj is not near the Radharaman temple. No. There's another Vana, which is also walled in there. Niduvan. Niduvan is where Banki Bihari appeared there. And Haridas, the great artist who's like, he's said to be the composer of almost all the ragas. He said like he's probably an incarnation of Narada Muni, somebody said like that. They consider at the Banki Bihari temple that he's like their acharya and he's an incarnation of someone, I don't remember. But when we go there in Gurudev's Parikrama book, then he describes how there was an artist, I think a disciple of Haridas, Tansen. Yes, Tansen. And then there was not Aurangzeb, the other Muslim ruler who appreciated Vaishnavism. There was some contest to see who was the greatest musician, artist, singer like that. And Tansen won that contest by bringing deer from the forest, who came right close. Deer generally don't do that. But they came close and he had them completely enchanted. And then when he stopped, whoosh, they ran away. So Gurudev is saying that even deer from the forest will come to here because it is so attractive. Srimati Radhika is thus the greatest artist, Kalavati. And she came in the treasure store of all these arts. And there she is playing on all the instruments very beautifully. Krishna is the shopkeeper. Of what shop? He is the master of all these things, but he is not the master in playing compared to Radhika. If Krishna does any kirtan in the fifth note, then Gurudev would always say like this, Sa re ga ma pa. Remember how Gurudev would always say that? Then Radhika goes up to the eighth note, Sa re ga ma pa dya ni sa something. Then Krishna says, yes, very good, sadhu, sadhu, dhanya, dhanya, well done. Krishna, being the shopkeeper, becomes so glad and he says, whatever instrument that you know and you desire to have, you can take. I give them all to you. Here, Krishna is Kalanidhi. He is the ocean of all kala, arts. But Radhika is Kalavati. She is expert in all these arts. Krishna can only taste the rasa. He can hear how melodious all these instruments are. But Radhika is playing them all. He can also play on them, but not as wonderful as Srimati Radhika. So he is Kalanidhi and she is Kalavati. Krishna is Rasika Shekhar. And Srimati is Rasika Shekhar. But when there will be a comparison of who is more Rasika, who is more Rasik, Krishna will have to learn something from his praying guru, Radhika. What to speak of Radhika, he will also have to learn from Vishaka and Lalita. Therefore he comes to the Godavari and he meets Vishaka there. And he learns so many things there as Mahaprabhu. And then he returns to the Gambhir and he tastes all these things. Without help, he cannot taste all this praying. He cannot. He needs help. So here the two words, Kalavati and Kalanidhi, are spoken by Das Goswami. Now, Kalavati and Kalanidhi, Radha and Krishna, are standing in front of each other in the Rasa Stali. I just want to remind us. So the first verse of this verse 44 says Kalavati. It's the first word, Kalavati. Now we know what Kalavati means. Natam shayo prachura kama punjojvala. Then the next line starts with Kalanidhi. Muradvisha prakata rasa sambhavayo. Like that. Now comes the word Muradvisha. Why is the word Muradvisha used here? There is a demon, Mura, who is ignorance, lust, or foolishness. Mura demon. Ignorance, lust, or foolishness. If a man's heart is like Mura, he is not qualified to read and hear all these things. First, we will have to remove all these disqualifications because they are like demons. If demons are there, all these things cannot occur. So Krishna has killed Mura, and then they have met. There is no Mura, there is no hypocrisy, no material desire, no gyan, no karma, none of this is there. There is only transcendental calm, and calm means prem, pure love. When all our anarthas are removed, then we can see Krishna and Radhika. Prakata rasa sambhavayo. Prakata rasa sambhavayo. Here, prakata rasa means that this took place during the Ras Lila. Prakat. Prakat means what? We have that. Prakat Lila. Yes. It is manifest. It is taking place. Right? And here it says Prakata Ras, meaning during the Rasa dance. Prakata Ras. It means Prakata Rasa Sambhavayo. Here Prakata Ras means that this took place during the Ras Lila. And Sambhavayo means meeting. Srimati Radhika is dancing. Krishna is seeing this and he is amazed, thinking, oh, how fast she is dancing. How sweet she is singing. How beautiful the postures of her hands and whole body are. Seeing all these activities of Srimati Radhika, Krishna at once goes to Srimati Radhika and with love and affection, he puts his left hand around her neck and on her left shoulder. And he has the Vamshi in the other hand. He is standing as Tribhanga Lalita, somewhat leaning against Srimati Radhika and giving some of his weight to Srimati Radhika. Only in Ras, exclamation mark. He is in a very pleasant mood, relishing Mahabhav. The color of Srimati Radhika's face is changing and changing as the sattvic and the vyabhichari ecstasies manifest on her transcendental form. Krishna is looking deeply in the eyes of Srimati Radhika and Radhika in the eyes of Krishna, and they are talking only by the eyes. Everything they are talking about with their eyes, it cannot be spoken by the mouth. Seeing Krishna and Radhika like this, Raghunath Das Goswami is praying, oh, Srimati's shoulders are so fortunate that they have the hands of Krishna there in a praying mood. Radhika is also in the state of Mahabhav, so I wish to worship your shoulders. How can Raghunath worship Radhika's shoulders? He is coming now to the middle state of half internal and half external consciousness, Ardha Bhakya Dasha. And from there, he is coming to the outer stage and he is weeping. What have I seen? How can I worship these shoulders? How fortunate I am. In the eyes of his ecstatic bhav, he sees that there are so many beautiful malika flowers which have a very sweet fragrance, so he made a garland. Then by the internal eyes, as Rati Manjari, he did archan of Srimati Radhika, gave the garland to her neck, and prayed as Raghunath, when will I have the chance to serve you in this way? Weeping and lamenting, he prayed to his Guru Sakhi, Rupa Manjari, and all others. This is the purport of this verse. So now we're moving on to verse 45. Suryaya Suryamani Nirmita Vedi Madhye Mugdangi Bhavata Ihali Kulayar Vritaya Argyam Samarpayitum Utka Diyas Tavarat Sajjani Kim Sumukhi Dasyati Dasikeyam. O charming limbed one, O lovely faced beauty, when will this maidservant hand you the articles of worship when surrounded by your friends? You are eager at heart to devotedly offer arga to the sun god on an altar of Surya money jewels. Can repeat. So this is obviously connected with her doing Surya Puja. I'm sure pastimes will be there. Suryaya, Surya Mani, Nirmita, Vedi, Madhye, Mugdangi, Bhavata, Ihali, Kulayar, Vritaya, Argyam, Samarpayitum, Utka, Diyas, Tavarat, Sajjani. Jai Shri Guru Gauranga Radha Govinda Ki Jai. Sajjani Kim Sumukhi Dasyati Dasikeyam. O charming limbed one, O lovely faced beauty, when will this maidservant hand you the articles of worship when, surrounded by your friends, you are eager at heart to devotedly offer arga to the sun god on an altar of Surya money jewels? So there's one word in this verse which we've heard many, many times. Samarpayitum. Do you remember where that is from? It's the verse that I said. Yeah. Anarpita. Yeah. Karinaavatirnikalo samarpayitum. It means to give. So in this verse it also means to give. He wants to give this argyam to her so she can use that in her worship. So Guru Srila Gurudev's commentary. Sumukhi and Mugdangi Radhika. Sumukhi and what? Mugdangi. Sumukhi and Mugdangi Radhika. Smiling and charmed in Krishna's love. Raghunath Das Goswami has decorated Srimati Radhika with alta and a garland of kunda flowers and is remembering the pleasant pastimes of Krishna. He wants to serve Srimati Radhika by giving alta and a garland around her shoulders. In this shloka, Raghunath Das Goswami is remembering how Srimati Radharani is addressed in two ways. First as Mugdangi, and secondly as Sumukhi. Here, Sumukhi means very beautiful, what? Face. Mukhi. Here, Sumukhi means very beautiful face. A face has especially three kinds of expressions. Very grave, very sad, and very cheerful. If the face is sad, something has gone wrong. And if the face is smiling, then one can understand that whatever she wanted has been fulfilled. The face, being the mirror of the heart, always expresses which mood one is in. He is using Sumukhi to show that at that time, Srimati Radhika was in a very cheerful, pleasant mood, and her face was smiling. Sumukhi. Raghunath Das Goswami is sitting at Radhakund. His eyes are closed, and after seeing a pastime, he is praying to Srimati. He saw that he gave a garland around the neck of Srimati Radhika, and Srimati Radhika was smiling. Why was she smiling? Because Krishna had put his left hand around her neck and on her left shoulder, so she was so joyful. He had fully decorated Srimati Radhika. He had given sindur. He had given all alankar and abharana, ornaments and decorations like tilak, kasturi, bindu, kajal, and he painted fishes on her cheeks. To paint any part of the body is called abharana. There are 32 kinds of abharana and so many alankars. So Raghunath Das Goswami is seeing Radhika as Sumukhi, and at the same time as Mugdangi. Mugdangi means charming and also charmed in Krishna's love. Mugda means to be like a jnani, out of consciousness. Mugda. Both Krishna and Srimati Radhika certainly sometimes become so mugda that they don't know what to do and what not to do. There are so many beautiful pastimes of Krishna and Radhika when they become mugda. They know everything, but yet they ask each other about different things. Krishna asks, "Why are you laughing?" There is no reason for laughing, but yet she is. While laughing, all questions and answers come. This is called mugda avastha. This will not be at the stage of sadhana, only at the stage of praying, in the perfected state. Mugda avastha. And when prema becomes sneha, man, pranay, and anurag, then at this time they can be mugda, otherwise not. Srimati Radhika is at this time both sumukhi, smiling, and mugda. Why is she like that? Raghunath Das Goswami is remembering a pastime. The previous shloka, beginning with Kalavati Natam Shayo, and the shloka before that, they are of the time of Ras Lila. Now it is midnight, and the Ras Lila has ended, and after this comes Nishanta Lila. In Nishanta Lila, they are in a mood not to leave each other. But anyhow, they have to. Shuka and Sari recite so many songs to wake up Srimati Radhika and Krishna. So many pastimes have been given in Govinda, Lilamrita, and in other books. After Nishanta Lila, Radhika goes to Yavat, and Krishna to Nanda Bhavan. Both fall asleep. At the time of sunrise, Mother Yashoda, with Purnima, Yogamaya, comes to Krishna's bedroom. Yashoda sees that Krishna is not awake even though it is so late. Why is he sleeping? Mother Yashoda is worrying so much about Krishna. Purnima daily comes to take darshan of Krishna, They both walk into Krishna's room and they see that Krishna is still fast asleep. Yashoda at once caresses the whole body of Krishna and says, "Get up, my dear son." And she gives a little warm water on a cloth to his face. And then she says, "Yogamaya has come to give you blessings. You should get up. You should get up. Baladev is standing there. Madhumangal and so many of your sakhas are waiting outside. The cows are standing there. The calves are coming. They are all waiting for you. You should get up." Baladev and Madhumangal then enter Krishna's room. And at once they jump on the bed of Krishna and pat him on the head and wake him up. Yashoda is very carefully examining the face and the body of Krishna from top to bottom. What is she searching for? She saw some scratches. These boys are very naughty, she thought. Krishna's friends are so naughty. They have made scratches on the face and the whole body of Krishna. Carefully she is examining his body and says, "These boys are so naughty. Daily I tell them to play carefully. Still they run hither and thither, quarreling and wrestling. Why do these scratches come?" We get a lot of that udipan here. The room where I stay, the windows looking out at this lawn. And every day when the kids are in school, they come out at 11 o'clock. And what do? Running, jumping, screaming. So we get a lot of that udipan for the cowherd playing pastimes. Yeah. So, yes. Then Srimati Yashoda says, "These boys are so naughty. Daily I tell them to play carefully, but still they run hither and thither, quarreling and wrestling. Why do these scratches come?" Madhumangal answers, "Oh, mother, I know. He plays with the Sakhis." In Sanskrit, there is one word, Sakhi, friend, for both masculine and feminine genders. The gopis are Sakhis, and Sudama, Subal, and the other boys are also Sakhis. When Krishna heard Madhumangal say this, he became afraid. With so much shame, and by his eyes he tells Madhumangal, "Don't tell." Who tells Madhumangal? Yes. Madhumangal at once changes his meaning, not the words. He says, "Yes, Subal Sakhi, Sridam Sakhi, while wrestling with Krishna, they scratch him." At first, he wanted to use Sakhi to mean Lalita, Vishaka, and all others, and how Krishna was playing with them. But now he changed his meaning, and he said, "Oh, Subal, the other boys are so naughty. They have done this." Now Krishna feels relieved. And he thinks, "Oh, Madhu, you are a Brahmana. I'm offering you my pranams. You have saved me by your cleverness. Otherwise, I would have been so ashamed in the presence of my mother and Yogamaya." So the next section is titled, "Go and Learn from Your Prem Guru." Go and learn from your Prem Guru. This is a very nice, long purport. So, go and learn from your Prem Guru. Srimati Radhika is hearing all this from Madhurika, or another Sakhi, when she is in Yavat and is just getting up from her bed. She is relishing all these pastimes as if someone is pouring nectar in her ears. Srimati Radhika has just got up from bed when Shyamala comes. She asks Srimati Radhika, "What happened that night? How do you feel?" Srimati Radhika answers, "I don't remember." As at Amavasya in the rainy season, a thunderbolt appears for a second. This is Srimati Radhika speaking this. To who? Shamla. So she says, I don't remember. As at Amavasya, in the rainy season, a thunderbolt appears for a second, everything becomes light, but when it disappears, everything becomes darker. I remember that I met Krishna, and by your mercy, he met me. But what happened when we met? I don't remember. If he took me in his lap, he put his hand on me, and what he did, I don't remember at all. I became mad at that time, therefore I don't remember. But now I feel so much separation. Oh, this is the answer of Shamla, I think. Oh, you should go again to your Prem Guru and learn what happens. Then Radhika says, I'm not a good student, but you are so brilliant and you remember everything, so you should go there and learn all these things. The conversation is going on like this. Then Shamala says, really, I had come here to take bath, and I have taken bath in Prem Sarovara, the ocean of love. And now after taking this wonderful bath, I'm leaving, and you should take your bath as well. Then comes Purvan Lila, which is the pastime from what time in the morning till noon? Purvan Lila.
8:30.
9. Yes. So then comes Purvan Lila, which are the pastimes from 9 in the morning to 12. The sadhak can remember them in two ways. This means once when Srimati Radhika is called by Yashoda to Nanda Bhavan in Nandagram, because Yashoda has heard that what Radhika cooks becomes so sweet and so powerful that if anyone takes what she cooks, he never becomes old, he becomes so powerful, so brilliant and so beautiful and wise. Every quality comes in that person who takes the cooking of Srimati Radhika. Yashoda was seeing before that her son became thinner daily, and she was disturbed in her mind. She thought, how will my son become strong, powerful, and wise, so no demon can harm him? He does not take anything which I prepare. He takes just a little and he leaves the rest. Once she mentioned about her anxiety to Purnima, Yogamaya. My son does not take anything which makes him stronger, wiser, wealthier, healthier, and so forth. What should I do? Who is she saying this to? Yes, Yogamaya. So Purnamasi said, you should call the daughter-in-law of Jatila. Jatila is very quarrelsome, Yashoda says. She will not allow her daughter-in-law to come here. She will think that by doing so, her prestige will decrease. I don't think she will allow it, but you are so wise. You know everything. You are so honored in all of Braj. If you order Jatila, she cannot disobey you. I will try, Purnamasi said. I love Radhika so much from her birth and her childhood, Yashoda said. She used to come to me almost daily, and I know that Krishna and Radhika from infancy were playing with each other. I had a very great desire that when my son and the daughter of Vrishabhanu Maharaj become old enough, I would send a proposal to Vrishabhanu Maharaj that his daughter should marry my son. But now I see that I have failed. Jatila knows this fact also, because she's still telling. Jatila knows this fact also. What fact? That I have failed. Because she is a close relation, so she will not allow her daughter-in-law to come here. It is a question of prestige. Then Purnamasi said, yes, somehow I will arrange everything for you. So one day Yashoda Devi sent Kundalata to Yavat to give Jatila a message. Kundalata is the daughter-in-law of Upananda, Nanda Maharaj's brother. So she is a close relative of Yashoda Devi. Kundalata is close to Jatila also. So Jatila depends on Kundalata. Yashoda knows this fact. So she requested her daughter-in-law, Kundalata, that my son, your husband's younger brother, is getting thinner daily. So you should go and tell Jatila, who is like your sasuri or your mother, that she should send her daughter-in-law here to cook something so that Krishna may eat properly. So behind this, there are these relations. It's interesting. Hearing this from Kundalata, Jatila became furious. She wants to send my daughter-in-law to her house to cook there. How can I? I will not order this. Then Kundalata returned to Yashoda and told her Jatila's answer. Now the next section is called Purnamasi Devi convinces Jatila to let Radhika cook at Nanda Bhavan. At the same time, Purnamasi, Yogamaya came, and Yogamaya heard everything. Yogamaya at once went to Yavat. When she arrived there, Jatila came. Srimati Radhika, Lalita, Vishaka, they all came and they fell down at the feet of Yogamaya Devi. Yogamaya Devi gave her affectionate blessings. Sobhagyavati Bhava, Sobhagyavati Bhava, may you be blessed and all your desires fulfilled. When is one Sobhagya or fortunate? This is in Gurudev's, he's mentioning. When is one Sobhagya or fortunate? When a Naika, beloved, is most beautiful, wise, and in every quality she is so advanced that her love becomes under her control, then that her lover becomes under her control, then she is Sobhagyavati. Rukmini is Sobhagyavati by Krishna. If her husband leaves her, is she Sobhagyavati? No. So Radhika is Sobhagyavati if Krishna does just as she likes. Radhika is Sobhagyavati if Krishna does just as she likes. Now Yogamaya knows the inner bhav of Radhika. So she gives this blessing saying, Sobhagyavati Bhava, may you be fortunate. Radhika and all her companions smiled and they returned to their rooms. Now just Jatila and Purnamasi are there. Purnamasi asked, are you all right? No, I'm not all right. Why? Oh, one of my son's cows has died, and my son has no child. I'm so unhappy, and I'm not as wealthy as Nanda Baba and Vrishabhanu Maharaj. I'm of a lower class. I pray that you bless me to achieve all these things. Who's saying this to who?
Jatila is saying it to Purnamasi.
Yeah, okay, yes. Oh yeah, okay. So Purnamasi asked Jatila, are you all right? No. Why? One of my son's cows has died and my son has no child. I'm so unhappy. And I'm not as wealthy as Nanda Baba and Vrishabhanu Maharaj. I'm of a lower class. I pray that you bless me to achieve all these things. Oh, you want my blessings? I am seeing in my meditation that Yashoda, Vrajarani, the queen of Vrindavan, has sent a message to you and you have rejected it. That is why your cows have died. What is the message she sent? And then Jatila answers, "Oh, she thinks me inferior, so she has sent a message that I should send my daughter-in-law to cook in her house." And then Purnamasi says, "What is the harm? Why did you reject the proposal? By accepting this proposal, your cows will increase 1,000-fold and wealth will come automatically. Also, you will have a grandson. You will be able to see the face of your grandson. Everything will come. But I predict that, and I'm seeing this as if it was written in a book, that if you refuse to carry out the order of Yashoda, everything will be spoiled. I have no time more to stay here. I have to leave just now, but you should think about what is good and what is bad for you." And saying this, Purnamasi left. So shortly after, Kundalata came again to Jatila with the same request from Yashoda Devi. Jatila reflected upon Purnamasi's words and was then more polite. And after a due pause, she said, "All right, she may go. I will give her the order." Kundalata went to Radhika and then returned to Jatila saying, "I've told Radhika, but she answers that she will not go in any case." So Kundalata went to Radhika and then returned to Jatila saying, "I've told Radhika, but she answers that she will not go in any case. Saying that, I'm not anyone's cook." She said that, saying, "I am not anyone's cook. I will not go. They abuse me, especially my mother-in-law and others. They abuse me that I have some affection for a black person. I don't want to see the face of any other person. I will always stay in home. I'll never go." So this is being told to Jatila that this is Radhika's answer. And Kundalata is telling. So now Jatila thought that if Radhika doesn't go, then the case will be opposite and everything will be destroyed because Purnamasi has told so and every word of Purnamasi comes true. So Jatila requested Lalita, Vishaka, and all the other Sakis, "Make her ready to go so that nothing bad happens. You should do anything necessary so that my daughter-in-law will be ready to go there. There is no harm in going there. Yashoda is my Saki, so she can go." Now Kundalata said to Jatila, "Yashoda has made ready so many golden ornaments and also clothes and everything for your daughter-in-law. If she will go, Yashoda will give everything that she has made ready for her son's future marriage. All the clothes, ornaments, and everything."
For her son's future.
Yeah, Yashoda's son's future marriage.
Yeah,
So she's got all these things,
right.
but she's saying it's for his future marriage, but she's saying that she's made all these things ready, and if Radhika will go, then Yashoda will give everything that she has made for her son's future marriage, all the clothes, ornaments, and everything. So hearing this, water came in the mouth of Jatila. So she again and again requested Lalita and Vishaka to convince Radhika and prepare to go. Lalita and Vishaka wanted to go there, and Srimati also wanted to go there. They went to Srimati and they requested her, but she was not in a mood to take their words. She was externally refusing repeatedly, but finally at last, somehow, she was convinced and then prepared to go. In the meantime, Tulsi Manjari has decorated Srimati Radhika fully and has given a mirror to Srimati Radhika. "See how beautiful you are." Radhika is seeing her face and smiling and thinking, "This beauty is not for me, it is for Krishna. If Krishna sees me like this, he will be so cheerful." Tulsi Manjari knew this inner motive of Srimati Radhika, and together with Radhika, Lalita, Vishaka, Chitra and others, she is going to Nanda Bhavan. In the midway, at Terkadamba, Krishna was milking his cows and playing with his friends and calves. Krishna was waiting for Srimati to come that way. Krishna was playing with the calves and the sakas, but he was thinking, how can I reach them? Lalita advised Srimati Radhika, we should go by another path, not by this one, because that black snake is quite dangerous. He can bite us at any moment, so we should turn around and go another way. Radhika said, I'm not afraid of that black snake. I will go by this path. And thus they continued forward. Krishna was milking a cow at the side of the path by which they were coming, and was waiting for them to come nearer so he could do something. When they passed by, he squirted milk from the cow's udder so that Srimati Radhika's face became covered in milk, and they were all laughing. In a way, this is Purvan Leela. At last, Radhika arrived at Nanda Bhavan. In Yavat, Srimati Radhika's heart was burning with a big fire of separation. She was sweating as if she were burning in the heat. The Sakhis were giving chandan to Srimati Radhika to cool her, but all the things that they were giving to cool Srimati Radhika at once became dry, even the sandalwood. But in Nanda Bhavan, even though Radhika was cooking in the midst of 1,000 burning stoves with so much heat, now she was so cheerful and no sweat was coming there. One Sakhi said, you were sweating so much in Yavat, even though we gave so much ice and cooling things. But here you are in the midst of many fires. But you are not sweating here. Why is this? So these are Purvan Leelas. Next section is a little short. Secrets of Radhika's Surya Puja. I'll just read a little bit more. After taking his meal, Krishna is ready to go to Gocharana. And after taking the remnants of Krishna, Radhika and all her Sakhis have returned to Yavat. Now it is the morning, after 9 or around 9. Radhika's daily duty is Surya Puja. Daily she gives offerings for worshipping the sun, such as flowers, milk, sacred waters, and some other things. All Brahmins and others, they do this puja. Why does Radhika do this? To Radhika, the sun is Bhagavan, and he makes Krishna so qualified and always cheerful. By the sun's mercy, she thinks, no demons can harm Krishna. So for Krishna's sake, Radhika is worshipping the sun. Radhika knows that Krishna is not Bhagavan, but that Surya Dev is Bhagavan. In villages, the ladies are like this. They worship the gods and goddesses for the welfare of their families, their husband, mother, father, child, and so forth. So, this is Radhika's Nara Leela, human-like pastime. If she did not perform pastimes like this, there would not be Nara Leela. One idea is that she performs this Surya Puja before going to cook. That before she is ready to go to Nandagaon, her first duty is to worship the sun. And when we awake, we take bath, and our first duty is to chant Harinam, or our Diksha mantras. So, this pastime can occur before going to Yashoda's home for cooking. This idea is favorable to our Shastras. We should do our worship first, then begin anything else. As we first do our Annik, Seva, Puja, and then we begin anything else. So this is also justified. Another version we see in Krishna Das Kaviraj's Govinda Lilamrita is that Surya Puja comes after the morning cooking pastime, before Madhyan Leela, the midday pastimes. If we take this version, it is also all right. There is no harm. All the puja is done before taking the meal. Radhika takes Krishna's remnants, but it is not a meal. She only takes it as Mahaprasadam. It does not come under the category of taking a meal. So, before midday, when Krishna goes to Gocharana, at the same time, she becomes ready to go to Surya Puja. There are two kinds of sun worship. When the sun is rising, water and or flowers are offered to the sun, with an obeisance or folded hands. It is a simple process. But there is a more elaborate sun worship that Radhika performs. There should be an image of the sun, and by Shastriya Padatti, according to rules and regulations, and mantras given in the Vedas, the sun is worshipped. That is called Surya Puja. Both may be here, either or, but it seems that it is before midday, because the next verse is a pastime of Shayana, evening. So it is a lila of Radha Kunda and Surya Kunda. The two Brahmin boys. Now Krishna has gone cowherding and he has come to Kusum Sarovara. Where's that? Right near Radha Kunda. Both Radhika and Chandravali are waiting for Krishna. At Gauri Kunda, Srimati Chandravali is waiting, and at Radha Kunda, Srimati Radhika is waiting with great eagerness. Chandravali has sent Padma and others to somehow or other bring Krishna. And Lalita and Vishaka have also gone to bring him. Both parties are endeavoring to bring Krishna to their Saki. Lalita and Vishaka came late, and Padma and her Saki had some minutes earlier taken Krishna to their Gauri Kunda. Lalita and Vishaka were so sad, but anyhow they tried to catch Krishna. Lalita told Vishaka, "Go and do anything you can so that he comes." And then Vishaka thus went to Gauri Kunda, and Krishna said, "Oh, you have come here. Why?" Vishaka answered, "Just now, a demon has come. He has attacked the cows and is dragging them to Kamsa's Goshala while killing all your friends." Then Krishna said to Chandravali, "Oh, I must go. I will be back in a moment." He went with Vishaka, and on the way Vishaka told Krishna the real fact, and they went to Radha Kund. In this verse, Jatila told Srimati Radhika to do Surya Puja at Surya Kund, and she took Srimati there. Who took her there? Jatila. At the same time, Lalita and Vishaka met with Krishna and told him about Radhika's whereabouts. Krishna took the disguise of a Brahmin boy with some books under his arm, and as a brahmachari and student of Garga Acharya, he went to Surya Kund. There, Jatila was waiting with Radhika and her Sakis. Jatila saw two beautiful Brahmin boys there. Both Krishna and Madhumangal had disguised themselves so carefully that no one could recognize them, not even Srimati Radhika. Only Lalita and Vishaka knew who the Brahmin boys were. Jatila prayed to the Brahmin boy to be the priest and conduct the worship of the sun and to lead Radhika in that puja. And then he said, "I will not see the face of that devotee. I will be very far away from her. I don't accept anything as dakshina." Now Jatila thought that he was a Brahmin without any desires. She said, "I have not seen a Brahmin before like this boy. Certainly he is a very qualified Brahmin boy." Then Krishna read a mantra of Surya. Jagan Mangala Krit Gotram Suchivit Pravaram Suchim Bhavantam Vishva Sharmanam Purohita Taye Vrine. It's from the Govinda Lilamrita, the mantra that Krishna read. "I accept Vishva Sharma, whose dynasty bestows good fortune on the world, and who is most pure and learned, as my priest." Here the second meaning is, I accept Krishna, whose name and gotra purifies the world, who is most learned in the art of conjugal love, Suchivit, and who gives joy to the world, Vishvasharma. I accept him as my own. Krishna told Jatila that his name was Vishvasharma. And doing a puja, the custom is that there is a priest. He is the representative, and he will have you utter your gotra, the name of your lineage, and so forth. What is our gotra? We are part of the Radha gotra. Within the Achyuta gotra, the line of the infallible Lord Krishna, there are two gotras, the Achyuta gotra and the Radha gotra. The Radha gotra is very fine and sweet. Jagan Mangala Krid Gotram. Here, an adjective for the sun is given. The sun spreads his rays of light to the whole world and thus brings auspiciousness. What does Krishna give? So many suns, so many moons and everything. He is Adi, Anadi, the beginning without beginning. Anadi Radir Govinda Sarva Karana Karanam. Shri Govinda has no beginning or origin, though he is the source of everything and the cause of all causes. The sun gives life. The sun gives life, but actually not. Krishna gives life. So Krishna is the root of all things, whether worldly things or transcendental. Surya cannot give light in the heart, but Krishna can even give light there, within the heart and without. The sun cannot destroy our ignorance, but Krishna can give such light that every kind of ignorance goes away at once. This is the last sentence that we'll read tonight, that the sun cannot destroy our ignorance, but Krishna can give such light that every kind of ignorance goes away at once. So tomorrow we will continue with this pastime, Vishvasharma and the Krishna Surya. Yes, and we'll complete the purport tomorrow of verse 45. Yes.
You also have the, at 11 o'clock, we also have the reading.
Oh yeah. Well,
We'll pick up from there tomorrow morning?
well, yeah, tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night we'll pick up from there.
Okay. So what's the morning?
No, the morning is from here, reading all the remaining verses and everything, right?
Only the rest.
But then in the evening we'll go back to this very place and see how much we can complete, in the next 5 days or whatever it is.
Verse 46 and 11.
Yeah, we can start with verse 46. Jai Shri Shri Vilapa-kusumanjali ki Jai. Jai Srila Raghunath Swami Pada ki Jai. Jai Jai Shri Radhe Shyam. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Govinda, Radha Govinda Radhe.
Jaya Radha
Jaya Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radhe.
Jaya Radha Madan Mohan Radha Madan Mohan Radhe.
Jaya Vrishabhanu Nandini Radhe Radhe. Vrishabhanu Nandini Radhe Radhe.
Jaya Vrishabhanu Nandini Radhe Radhe. Jaya Vrishabhanu Nandini Radhe Radhe.
Jaya Rupa Raghunath Jaya Rupa Raghunath Rupa Raghunath Jaya Rupa Raghunath.
Jaya Rupa Raghunath Rupa Raghunath Jaya Rupa Raghunath Jaya Rupa Raghunath.
Jaya Sachinandan Jaya Gaura Hari Jaya Sachinandan Jaya Gaura Hari.
Jaya Sachinandan Jaya Gaura Hari Jaya Sachinandan Jaya Gaura.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Gaura Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol. Nitai Gaura Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Gaura Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol
Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol. Jai Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Shri Shri Radha Govinda Jiyo Ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Srila Gurudev Ki Jai. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Sri Rupanuga Guru Varga Ki Jai. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Vrindai Tulsidebai Priyai Keshavasya Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Sachavachai Namo Nama. Vansha Kalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhu Bevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Yeah.